The smell hit first. Not smoke, not gunpowder. Something heavier, sweet, rotten, unmistakably wrong. On April 29, 1945, U.S. Army units advancing through southern Germany slowed near the town of Dachau. The sky was gray. The ground was damp. And ahead, past the trees, beyond the railway spur, stood a place that should not have existed. Steel gates, concrete watchtowers, a silence that pressed against the ears. Soldiers later said the air itself felt contaminated. They had orders to secure the area. They expected resistance. They did not expect what waited behind the fence. Scientists were not prepared for what happened next. And neither were the men who walked through the gates. Dachau concentration camp sat just 10 miles northwest of Munich. It was not hidden. It had been operating since March 1933, the first Nazi concentration camp, designed as a model for all others. Over 12 years, more than 200,000 prisoners passed through its gates. Political dissidents, clergy, Jews, Roma, Soviet POWs. By 1945, Allied intelligence knew camps existed, but their function was abstract. Reports mentioned labor camps, detention facilities, numbers on paper. Nothing prepared frontline troops for scale. As the U.S. 7th Army advanced east, German resistance collapsed unevenly. Radio intercepts showed fragmented command. Rail lines were damaged. Civilians fled in waves. Then came a report. A train abandoned on a siding near Dachau. Recon units approached first. Inside the railcars, bodies, hundreds of them, emaciated, frozen in positions of collapse. Medical officers later estimated the dead had been without food or water. For days, possibly weeks. The train wasn't a battlefield casualty. It was a delivery. At this point, command assumed Dachau was a POW camp. They were wrong. Soldiers moved closer. The perimeter fence appeared intact. No active fire, no alarms. Just wine moving through barbed wire. Some guards had fled. Others remained. Inside the camp, over 30,000 prisoners were still alive. Many could no longer stand. Medical officers noted extreme malnutrition, average body weight under 40 kilograms. Advanced typhus, dysentery, tuberculosis. One doctor later wrote, "This was not neglect. This was engineering." What came next shocked everyone. The gates opened, and the structure of reality collapsed. The first U.S. troops entered cautiously, rifles raised, scanning rooftops, expecting ambush. What they found instead was systematic annihilation. Barracks packed beyond capacity. Concrete floors slick with waste. Men stacked on bunks like cordwood. The crematorium stood at the rear. Inside, ovens still warm. Medical officers examined remains. Burn rates, ash residue, bone fragments. Everything pointed to industrialized killing, not battlefield death. This was the moment the situation escalated. From military discovery to psychological catastrophe. Command radios went quiet, not from failure, from disbelief. Then discipline fractured. Some guards surrendered immediately. Others tried to flee. Several were executed on the spot. U.S. officers later testified that control was lost for minutes, possibly longer. Men who had survived Normandy, the Ardennes, and months of combat stood shaking, unable to process what they were seeing. Medical triage began instantly but failed. Feeding prisoners too quickly caused refeeding syndrome. Dozens died even after liberation. Doctors had to learn in real time how to save people from starvation without killing them. Then the alarms went silent. No celebration, no victory, only logistics. How do you feed 30,000 people who haven't eaten? How do you quarantine typhus without supplies? How do you document crimes so vast they defy language? Residents in nearby Dachau town were forced to walk through the camp. Many claimed ignorance. The evidence said otherwise. Military doctors disagreed on treatment. Some argued immediate nutrition. Others warned the body couldn't handle it. Pathologists documented causes of death. Anthropologists recorded skeletal conditions. Psychiatrists later identified what would become known as survivor trauma, a condition not yet named. This changed everything. The camp wasn't just evidence of war crimes. It was proof of a system designed for mass death, requiring new legal, medical, and moral frameworks. No model had predicted this scenario. Then investigators uncovered the records, transport logs, death registers, experiment notes. This wasn't chaos. It was administration. Dachau trained SS guards for other camps. It tested methods. It refined processes. The camp was a prototype, and what it revealed would reshape the post-war world. The Nuremberg trials drew directly from Dachau evidence. Crimes against humanity entered international law because existing laws were insufficient. The discovery wasn't just historical. It was structural. Liberation didn't end suffering. Thousands died in the weeks that followed. Hospitals overflowed. Supplies ran short. Psychological damage persisted for decades. But the camp was secured, documented, preserved. Dachau became evidence. Airports didn't close. Cities weren't evacuated. But something larger shifted. The illusion that humanity had limits collapsed. The gates of Dachau still stand. The ovens are cold. The watchtower's empty. But the system that built it didn't vanish overnight. It had to be exposed, documented, remembered. Because the most dangerous disasters aren't natural. They are engineered. And history shows they can happen again.